Hello class, this is Demetrius Wilson. We're starting now with Chapter 2 in your BA 121 sales course. Chapter 2 is on the power to choose your path, a career in sales. As I stated, some of you guys are in a career in sales already. Some of you guys aspire to be in a career within sales. Others of you are not in sales and don't aspire to be within the sales department. But there's a lot that you can learn from this course, even if you're not within sales. So we start off with our video ride along. The video "What It Takes to Be Successful in Sales" features Paul Blake, Vice President of Sales at Greater Media Philadelphia. So I will let you know the best way, if you want to see all of the videos and the clips and everything and kind of do it interactively, is to go through the electronic book, which is posted right there for all of you guys to utilize. You can also go to my modules, which has some of the videos in there as well, just the ones that I can embed. He shares his thoughts on what it takes to be a great salesperson and what he looks for when he's hiring a new salesperson. So he's someone you should listen to because he's an individual that hires salespeople. So he's telling you what he's looking for. So if you can emulate what he's looking for, more than likely you would be able to land a successful sales job. These are your actual discussion questions that are posted for Chapter 2 Supplemental Video Assessment. So definitely pay attention to these. List two differences between a good salesperson and a great salesperson, and I ask that you provide an example. And then mention two traits which, according to you, are the most important in sales, because what's most important to me may not be most important to you. And I'm not saying that we all have to agree with Paul, right? I'm just saying that we all have varying opinions. We know what's right, we know what's wrong, but some of us may put 1 and 2 a little bit differently. My 1 and 2 may be your 3 and 4. So I'd like to hear back from you on that. Our chapter objectives are: discuss the characteristics required to be successful in a career in sales, understand what you can expect from a career in sales, understand that different types of selling channels and selling environments, like if it's just regular business to business or if it's franchise sales, learn how to position your education and experience to create a resume and cover letter to get you the job that you want. And you see a reoccurring theme where you're selling yourself on that last bullet point and that last section throughout the chapter. So traits required for a successful career in sales: character and the ability to build trust. If people don't trust you, they will not buy from you. Ability to connect. You have to have a connection, a personal connection with these individuals. Listening skills. Communication is not just speaking, it's listening. And I would say listening is more important than speaking. Ability to ask the right questions. Willingness to learn. Drive to succeed. Resilience and positive attitude. When I was in sales, they always said, "Hey, the first you get it's like a game of 10. You can get 9 no's, but that 10th one is going to be a yes. But you could get a yes on the very first one that you talk to, and then you get 9 no's after that. It's a game of numbers. Willingness to take risk, ability to ask for an order. You have to ask for that order. Independence and discipline, flexibility and passion. If you don't have any passion, if you're not enthusiastic, sales is probably not the right place for you. Bring it all together. The video on how to hire players features Mary Delaney, the CSO of CareerBuilder.com. So how do you hire A players, right? You don't want B players because they're not going to make the most sales. You want A players. She discusses what she looks for in candidates for sales positions, and how hiring people in sales is much different than hiring people in other disciplines, right? So other departments, the requirements and characteristics are a lot different than in sales. And like one of the videos that I posted, a sales manager can't have a bad day because you have this pumped up, enthusiastic sales rep that's coming to you for guidance and help, and you can't be down in the dumps. But if you're a customer service manager or a claims manager that maybe you're not right on the front line scenes and you have to talk to your people like that all the time, maybe you can get away with having a bad day. A career in sales, the role of a salesperson is to create value. You create value for the product or service that you represent. When you are considering investing your career in the selling profession, know what's in it for you. A salesperson has to work multiple activities. You have to wear a lot of different hats. You're the face of the company, and a salesperson, it's a pay per performance position, right? So the more you perform, the more you get paid. The less you perform, the less you get paid. Types of selling channels. So you see, if pictures worth 1,000 words. You see Whirlpool. There's not a Whirlpool store, right? You can go online and buy something from them direct, but you don't go to the Whirlpool store. Then you have Sears. Whirlpool sends their items. They sell them to Sears. Sears marks them up and sells them to us. Sears can also send to Sears or Kmart, and then Kmart or Sears send them to, you see at the end of the line, the consumer, and that's me or you. Business to business versus business to consumer selling characteristics. So that's kind of small. So let's just switch over right here to it on the textbook. So business to business, relatively few potential customers, but they're huge. Larger purchases, purchasing for production and or sale to ultimate customers, and ultimate customers, you and I, the consumers. Longer selling cycles, takes longer because it's a lot more money, but they last longer too. Multiple influencers and decision makers, and more difficult to identify influencers and decision makers. Business to consumer, which means it comes from the big business to us, the end user, has many customers, relatively small purchases for personal use or for family and friends, a relatively short selling cycle, so it's pretty quick. Fewer influencers and decision makers. It's only me, probably like the head of the household, or the two heads of the household, and easier to identify influencers and decision makers. So types of business to business and business to consumer selling. Remember, B2B is business to business, B2C is business to consumer. Transactional selling, so occurs in both business to business and business to consumer situations. Consultative and relationship selling occurs in both as well. Adaptive selling occurs in both. The only one that doesn't is strategic alliance. That only occurs in business to business situations, and in the next few slides we'll explain why. So types of business to business and business to consumer selling exercises. So match the terms in column A with the descriptions provided in column B. So if you have column A, a strategic alliance, and you have column B, you have opposite of formula selling, and then you also have mitigates a significant risk to the business. Well, if you have a strategic alliance, it mitigates a significant risk, doesn't it? Because you have this alliance where you know that these sales are going to happen. So for instance, if I make orange juice and you sell oranges, and we have a strategic alliance, and I have in a contract that I'm going to buy the oranges from you, you mitigate your risk. You're not going to have many risks because you know that my company always has to buy oranges from you for the orange juice unless we go under, and then you have to make another strategic alliance. Adaptive selling, that is the opposite of formula selling. So adaptive, you have to adapt. You don't know what's coming at you. Things come on the fly, so you have to figure out what you need to do to work and adjust that. Types of business to business and business to consumer selling. The video transactional versus relational selling features a consultant from Rockstar Consulting, personal development company that provides business and life coaching, sales training, and skill development services. They're very important because you don't come out of the womb knowing how to sell. Some people do. They have the gift of gab and they can sell. But some people actually need training. They want to be good at it, so they invest their time and energy. The speaker in the video discusses two different styles of selling, transactional and relational selling. Discussion questions, remember, pay close attention to those. Those will help you broaden your horizons, your thoughts, and also help you on your tests and quizzes. List two pros and cons of transactional relational selling apart from the ones discussed in the video. So obviously, if you didn't watch the video, go back, watch the video, and then go to that part. Categorize the salespeople you've come across in daily purchase situations, depending on their selling style, transactional selling, and relational selling. A bad day, I have a video in there, and there's also a video within the text about bad days. But in sales, you really just can't have a bad day or you won't make any sales. And as a sales manager, you definitely can't have a bad day because you probably have to make sales and are responsible for sales. And also that sales rep and those sales reps are relying on you. So the video, Hilarious Selling Mistakes, features Dan Seidman, author and speaker, Hilarious Selling Mistakes. He talks about some of the most hilarious selling blunders. Always good to get a good laugh throughout the text because things can be boring and monotonous. But I really don't think this class is boring and monotonous. I think it's very interactive, very interesting, even the way the textbook is laid out. Types of business to business and business to consumer sales positions. So there's the chart right there. I'll let you read that one on your own. Either you can enlarge it here or you can go to the textbook and look at that. Let's see, where is it at on the text? There it is right there, right? So you see you have your title, description, and industries, right? So sales representative, account executive, account manager, marketing. So a lot of different companies call them different things. Here's your description, and here's the industries. I want you guys to read this part very, very thoroughly, right? Different types, right? Inside sales, outside sales, in the field, over the phone, right? What type of sales are you doing? Direct selling, and I actually used to do direct sales when I first got out of college, and you know what? It was one of the best experiences I ever had. I learned so much from it. I learned more from that than any job I've ever had. The sale of consumer product or service away from fixed retail locations. So it's not within the store. So you have Avon, it's a relationship sale. People come by and they pass out their Avon catalog. Mary Kay, same type of thing. Pampered Chef, Amway, they're selling vitamins, but it's a relationship sale. Like, hey, let me talk to you about these great vitamins. So these are direct selling because they're like, hey, our product's so good, we don't want to put them in the store. We want to cut out the middleman. Let's go ahead and sell them direct. We feel like we've got a great product. In direct selling, you have independent business owners or IBO, a direct salesperson who distributes the company's products or services and earns income based on the sales. You have MLM or multi-level marketing. Independent business owners invite other people to become IBOs and earn incentives based on the sales and of the product and or service, like Herbalife. Pyramid schemes. It involves the exchange or money. The exchange of money simply for recruiting people to participate in the multi-level selling business without the benefit of sales. So that's just recruiting people. We're getting people in. That's a pyramid scheme. That's not the same as the top two, which actually work very well. Types of selling environment. The video direct selling up and down time showcases the growth of direct marketing, which provides secondary income to most consultants while also providing a sense of job security. So a lot of people that I know that work for Herbalife, they work there part-time until they build up their sales and their team, and then they go and do it full-time. So selling you, right? So selling you, not selling you university, but selling you yourself, your resume and cover letter essentials. So 5 steps for a resume that stands out. Well, step 1, define your 3 brand points that make you unique and provide value to a prospective employer. So how are you going to provide value? If you can't come into an interview and tell me how you're going to provide value, I'm not going to hire you. Your brand points are the foundation of your resume and cover letter. In your resume, tell your brand story with your brand points, which are very clear. 5 steps for a resume that stands out. Choose your resume format and font. Executives in all industries encourage students and young professionals not to exceed 1 page for your resume, but I will say that as you get further in your professional career, you probably do need to end up having 2 pages. I have 2 pages on my resume. Choose your resume format, which makes it easy for the reader to skim, right? People don't have all day to read through your resume and the great things that you've done. I want a synopsis up at the top, and then, maybe that I'm interested now. Now I'm going to read through everything. Kind of like speed dating. You're looking at profiles on a dating site or something like that, and if something doesn't catch your attention, you're just moving on to look at the next one. The font should be easy to read, like Arial or Times New Roman, not some crazy Haibuchi 3794 glossy font or something like that. The font size should be 12-point type or 11-point at the smallest. No joke, it is funny, but it's actual real situation. A friend of mine wanted me to work on his resume. He had his name in the 72 font. It was huge. I was like, I know you're proud of your name, but you can't put that. And there are certain things like you cannot put on your resume. So I gave the feedback. Didn't talk to him for a little while after that, but it was the right thing to do. It helped him, and it's helped him, continue to get jobs. So I know that I did the right thing. Resume formatting. The video selling you resume tips demonstrates how to make a resume very professional and very easy for the reader to see what makes you special. The sample used here is Rakeem S. Bateman's resume. It appears in the selling you section of this chapter. A standard resume incorporating effective headings, right? So you have the right type of headings, catch people's eye, make them read about you, help them to know why you are truly special. 5 steps for a resume that stands out. Step 3, choose for a heading and put the most important ones first, right? So you want to lead with what's most important and what's most captivating. Standard headings which should be included are objective, what's your objective, your education, and your experience. Put the most important things first. Your heading can reflect one of your brand points. References, hobbies, activities, and photos should not be included in your resume. Again, references, hobbies, activities, and photos should not be included in your resume. Step 4, write your bullet points, right? Not just a long run-on sentence or paragraph. Bullet points are better than a narrative format because they are easier for the reader to skim. You want to make it easier for them, not easier for you. And, I know you're proud of what you've done, but you want to make it easy for them to hire you. Keep your bullet points concise but specific. Bullet points should help reinforce your brand points with details of how you delivered on these points. Step 5, review, check spelling, proofread, and repeat. If you have a misspelling typo on there, it's going right into the trash, just FYI. So resumes with typo or grammar error are not considered. After you finish your resume, review it objectively, spell check and proofread it carefully. Ask someone trusted to review and proofread your resume, right? So I do a lot of proofreading and reviewing of resumes and make some updates here and there. Sometimes people don't like it, but if you are in that situation where you're able to help someone or assist someone, do so objectively and tell them the truth. You're not doing them any service if you're not telling the truth. So here's just an example of a standard resume. It's in the text as well. So when you go through, see how quickly it pops up. See how easy it is to scroll through that text? Very, very user-friendly. Let's get to, there you go. So that's where your examples of your resumes are, and then be sure to look at each resume and look at the small boxes that they have on the side, because it provides very, very good information for all of you. So be sure to review that. Couple other examples, and incorporating effective headings. So what I want you to do as you go through those, if you're here, look at your standard resume, look back at the text so that you understand what it is and read the boxes. When you come here, standard resume incorporating brand points, right? So you want to go to the next one and you want to say, with that in your mind, I want to look at the different brand points on this one, right? Then you go to the next one, incorporating effective headings. So when you go, just slide down to the third one and look at the different types of headings that they have on there, which actually would be that one. All right. So just trying to help you guys navigate through. Effective cover letter, which comes up next. Got to have a good cover letter. Don't have a good cover letter, so be sure to watch that video. It might deter them from reviewing your resume at all. All right, so that's standard for effective headings. It was a little bit further down. And then you want to scroll down to the cover letter. There's an example of effective cover letter. These are things that you're going to be able to use for the class, but you can also use in real life to help you should you try to pursue a new job. Elements of a cover letter, so you just keep going down here. And after looking at a sample, then you look at the different elements. Remember I said read every one of these boxes. Very, very important. Read every single one. All right? Make sure that you read those. All right? So you click there. Bam. There it is. All right? Go back up with that. Very helpful information in your career. And a sample cover letter and sample resume, you kind of look at them side by side. You say, why does it help side by side? Because your cover letter needs to reflect your resume. Your resume needs to reflect your cover letter. The two can't be not on the same page or you're going to have a problem, right? So I want you to look at those two in tandem and see what you can come up with and see, compare them to your resume and cover letter and see do yours flow in the same manner. So summary for chapter 2, 32 slides, went by quick. At least it went by quick for me. A good salesperson builds a relationship and trust with the customer and offers solutions. Companies sell to customers in business to business or business to consumer channels. And your resume and cover letter are your advertising. You're advertising yourself. You're selling you, or it's out there advertising the opportunity to sell you to a company for your personal brand. So that's it for chapter 2. Be sure, as always, to follow the instructions in the announcement section. It will tell you to read the chapter, do the supplemental video assessment assignment, take your quiz. Be sure you're thorough on everything. Next week, things will speed up a little bit because starting next week, there'll be 2 chapters every week. This time, I want to ease you guys into it. So chapter 1, week 1, chapter 2, week 2, then chapter 3 and 4 are going to be during week 3. Okay, so that's how the class is going to flow. So that's it for me. As always, I want everyone to have a good day and a great week.